Hey y'all, Lily here. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you all how I save HTV. I don't know if you've ever used your Cameo or Cricut to cut out HTV and it cut too deep and it went all the way through and it wasn't able to lift off the cutting mat. So I'm going to share with you all how I saved this design. Should you have any questions along the way, feel free to drop a comment down below and I will do my best to assist you in the best way possible. With that being said, let's get started. Alright, so here I'm going to begin weeding my design. I already know that the design cut out incorrectly because I can see the deep cuts from the HTV. So when I'm pulling off, you're going to see that everything wants to lift up with it. So I'm doing my best to keep everything down. Do you see how that lifted up right there? So I'm doing my best to just press everything down. I could recut it, but I just wanted to make a video showing you how I would go about saving this HTV in case you didn't have any extra vinyl laying around. So this definitely requires a lot of patience. So I'm just taking my time, removing the HTV slowly, pressing down, making sure I put pressure and nothing lifts up with it. So patience is definitely key when it comes to something like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and just keep peeling, keep pressing down, making sure nothing lifts up. I'm going to go ahead and speed through this process, but you're going to see that I'm just going to repeat the same thing over and over. Pull, press down, pull, press down, make sure nothing lifts off, none of the design comes off with the peeling process. So when I'm pretty much done, it looks like this. So this shouldn't have happened. It should have lifted up off the mat and this should have been on the HTV transfer. But since my Cameo cut through it because I didn't change the correct blade setting, I'm also going to be making a video on how I go about using my blade. So if you would like to check that out, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to stay tuned for that. So there are definitely a few ways to go about this. If you would have like a clear piece of transfer tape, then you can go ahead and just stuck that onto the design and then it would have peeled off with it, but I didn't have any on hand. So what I went ahead and did was I just kind of made sure that everything pulled off correctly, so that way I can go ahead and use a heat transfer tape to stick it all together. Alright, so once I have my design like this, I'm just going to go ahead and grab a whole bunch of pieces of heat transfer tape. I will go ahead and link the one in my description box below on the one that I use. And I'm just going to try to tape everything together so that way during the pressing process, nothing lifts up or presses incorrectly. I'm just going to go ahead and speed through this next clip. You're going to see that I use a bunch, if not a ton, of heat transfer tape to stick this all together. I know there's definitely multiple ways of doing this, but this was all that I had at hand to be able to fix this problem. Alright, and then once you're all done, you should be able to lift it up all together, and it should look something like this. So all the design is together, there's nothing that is left behind. So this way I just have to go ahead and apply it onto my t-shirt and then press it down. So here I'm just going to go ahead and show a quick clip of me pressing this design onto the t-shirt to let you know that it did work out for me. If you want to see a more detailed version of me applying HTV onto a t-shirt, then I will go ahead and link that video in my description box below. Okay, so when pressing it this way, whenever you lift off the clear transfer piece, normally it would just all lift up at once and there would be no problems, nothing left behind. But since there's lots of spaces in between, you have to go ahead and make sure that every little piece is removed. So on some pieces here, you see me going in and removing it manually. And you'll be able to tell because the little clear pieces are very clear and shiny. So you can see what needs to be removed and what already has been removed. Alrighty, y'all. And that's how I went about saving this HTV. I know, like I said, I could have cut it out again, but I thought that it would be a cool video showing you how I saved this HTV. I know maybe this method wouldn't have worked for every design, but for me, I was able to save this design and apply it onto a t-shirt without any problems, or not really without any problems because it is a patient, difficult process, but I still was able to do it. So if I missed anything or if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below and I will do my best to assist you in the best way possible. I do have TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I would greatly appreciate the support over there. And don't forget to ring that notification bell and hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for future videos. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.